What you didn't see was me putting a queen in this hive. I talked to a local beekeeper and he told me to come out. He actually gave me a queen in a cage and he told me to come out to this hive, the one that didn't have a queen in it, cut out all the queen cells. I'll insert some clips to show you what that looked like, and then hang this queen cage in. Well, this past weekend, I did that last week, and this past weekend the weather was not very good. And then on Sunday I didn't have time because I had another thing that I went to. So now I get to see if that queen was accepted. There's still lots and lots of bees in here. Remember, this is the hive that I split, and it was kind of an angry hive. So it's very likely going to get interesting here in a minute when all these bees come out here. I'm going to check this inner cover to make sure there's no queen hanging out up on it. And I don't see any. First things first, I guess, is to check this queen cage that was installed. You can see it right here. I'm going to grab the little aluminum strip that's on there and then divide those hives, pull those frames apart. Okay, so the candy that was in this end is gone and the queen cage is empty, so she got out at a minimum. That doesn't mean that they accepted her, but she did get out. I'm going to give them a little bit, just a little puff of smoke over the top, hopefully to mask all of the smells, the pheromones. Now, me talking while I'm doing this is probably not helping because of the breath, the CO2. You know, they can hear me, they can see me, they can smell me. So we're going to be very gentle. I do have a new queen, hopefully a new queen. So we're going to pull a frame out here. Now this other hive over here has the same queen that was in there before. So that one on the last inspection was doing just fine. I'm going to try not to get any bees rolled up in here. This queen that I put in was very dark. There's a lot of pollen here. Shouldn't be a queen on this one because there's no brood, which means that she shouldn't be laying eggs on this frame. And this side's not built out. So we're going to set this one aside. So far they're being okay. I am going to give them another little puff. I'm not going to lie, this hive has made me nervous in the past, and I'm a little nervous when I come out here because they've come out in force, which is the reason I've decided to requeen this one. Oh, that's not good. There is honey. This is a frame of honey mostly. There should not be a queen on this one. You can see that's mostly honey there. And this side is not really built out. We're just going to slide it over. You know, I thought about taking on the name for YouTube as the worst beekeeper on YouTube, because it seems that I make a lot of mistakes, and it seems that some people really like to point those mistakes out, which I'm okay with, because I like to learn. Oh, there she is. There she is. This is the new queen. I don't know if you can see her right here. Right there. There she is. Let me see if I can get you a better shot. Where'd she go? I lost her. I looked up at the camp. Oh, there she is. Can you see her? She's got that long, dark abdomen. Right there. She's unmarked, but I can tell, I mean, she's very identifiable. Good looking queen. So I'm very happy that they accepted her. She is an Italian queen, just a breed. I'm not going to dig around because if she's in there working and they accepted her, I'm not going to disrupt them. Very gently, I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to put this one back in. I'm getting a little better. I'm getting a little better about handling the frames. I'm still not perfect, but I'm getting a little better at it. I squash fewer bees these days than I used to. All right, let's give them a little more smoke just to calm them down a little bit. I can lower this down. A lot of times if I do it very slowly, the bees get out of the way and I don't squish any. I think that was a successful squishless. Yep, I don't see any bees squished. Alright, we're just going to cap this one back up. I'm going to run some smoke over the top just to get them off the top a little bit. And put this lid back on. We're going to go ahead and inspect this other hive. I want to get in there, check out to see how that queen's doing. Check. I won't be able to see smoke to my face. I won't be able to see the eggs very well because once you get past a certain part of the day, the hives are in the shade and I can't see into the brood cells very easily. But we're gonna check this one out. And those beetles. I do have a trick. J&J Acres, Jared at J&J Acres sent me some towels that he uses for hive beetles. I didn't feel like I had time tonight to do that, so I just, I didn't bring them out. But we are going to get that done very soon. Alright, let's crack the lid here. So basically what I did with this hive by splitting it is I forced a, basically forced a swarm. The bees, the hive split in two. The queen didn't have to take care of all those cells. The other bees didn't have to take care of all the brood. So basically I forced a swarm. There's some very dark little bees in here. They're not being too bad right now. I can see these outside frames are mostly empty. I should have brought those towels out. I have that, finding that queen was very fast. I don't have them with me. Okay, this frame right here is empty. It looks like they might just be starting to draw some comb on that. Just a tiny little bit on the tops of those, that pattern. I think I need a different height of, what do you call it? Hive stand. Because my back tends to hurt a little bit when I get to leaning over these hives. Now this is a lot of brood, so they're very well could be a queen here. I don't know that I've ever seen this queen, so I don't know if she's dark or light. Judging by the color of the other bees, I'm going to guess that she's dark. But I don't know for sure. They're starting to build some new comb down there. When there's a cluster of bees like this, it makes me think the queen might be in the middle of it. Sometimes I'll gently blow on it. Nope, I don't see a queen there. I do see beetles. That beekeeper told me anytime I see a queen cell, I need to be aware of what's going on, but I can't let them have it for free. Especially down here in Texas, I can't allow them to be raising their own queens. I need to be diligent to keep up with new queens from a source where the genetics are a little nicer. Okay, they built some. This is that frame where there's extra comb on the bottom because it's a medium frame. I'm going to try not to put too much gravity pressure on that. Looking for a queen. I don't have to see her. I'm looking in here to see if I can see any eggs. I see lots of larvae, but I don't see eggs. It's really difficult in this light to see the eggs. I'm keeping the frame over the hive just in case she falls down off the frame. Then it's most likely that she's going to fall down into the hive instead of out onto the ground where she could be lost. They're starting to build some comb on the bottom of that medium frame too. If you're wondering why I have some medium frames in this deep hive, you need to go back and look at that other video. Checking for a queen here. There's lots of brood at various stages, so I'm not terribly concerned. I think she's fine. And also when they're queenless, they tend to be more aggressive. And this hive right now is being, even though this has been an aggressive hive, the fact that I split them and they have a queen, I think they're being a little more docile than normal. Okay. Well, I haven't seen her yet. I might not see her tonight, and that's okay. But let me check a few more frames. I have some exciting plans. You know, I've really kind of gone back and forth on the whole beekeeping thing. Do I do it? Do I not? Should I give up? Should I keep going? And I think I've decided I'm going to keep going. There's a queen cell there. Can you see it in the middle? That's one, according to this, or a queen cup, really. According to this guy, he said to just cut those out like that. There was nothing in that one. Lots of brood in here. So the exciting plans, there's some more queen cups on this side, one more. The exciting plans include me building, I'm going to move the apiary. There's reasons why I don't want to keep it in this location. And it has a lot to do with the neighbors moving in, and they have grandkids that play very near here. But I'm also planning on building a beekeeping shed, which will be right in front of the apiary. So I'll be able to have all my equipment out there, and some observation windows so people can be in the shed watching while I beekeep. It's all in the dream stage right now, but I figured out where I want it. I gotta stretch my back. So hopefully, if things go well, you'll see the progression of the apiary. Lots and lots and lots of brood. That tells me the queen's probably very, very active, very good. I have not seen the queen yet. It makes me feel better when I can see her. Just because, I don't know. There's a lot of capped brood on this one. I don't know if, can you guys hear that? They changed their pitch. They changed their tone. It goes to a higher pitch. And that higher pitch has always indicated to me that they're getting more riled up. And now we're into the end of it where there's a lot of pollen and a lot of nectar. So there's no brood down there. So they're, I missed her. She's in there somewhere, but I missed her. So we're gonna gently slide these back over. You gotta be careful sliding these frames, because if you go too fast, you start pinching bees between the frames, and your queen might be in there. Chances are, if you go back and look at some of my previous beekeeping videos, you'll see that I was not as gentle in the beginning because I just didn't know. I know I'm not doing it perfectly at this point, but I like to think I'm getting better. Trying to get him to drive down in there a little bit so I can put this inner cover on. Someone told me to lay it at an angle and then twist it. You get fewer bees. That's what I was told anyway. And then I get to play the game of squash the beetles. I think moving the apiary is going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a fun challenge. It's not going to move far. It's really only going to go about 30 yards over that direction. It'll give them a nice morning, a path to the morning sun, but it'll give them a few more obstructions that they have to fly over in order to start their day. Because right now, they fly straight out. Let me show you. This flight path flies out here. They stay real low. Right over there, they're clear, and you can see that corner post. Where is it? Can't hardly see. Right there is a corner post. So up in here is where the neighbor's starting to clear the backyard out. He made an area for a backyard, and that's where his grandkids play. Well, that's right in the flight path of my bees. I mean, it's facing right at them, pretty much straight out the hive. So clearly I can't tell him not to clear his space. Don't let his kids play in his yard, his grandkids. But I want to be mindful of safety. The reason I put the hives back here in the first place is because nobody was back here. But now that there's people moving in around me, I have to be a little more strategic. So the hives are going to be moved a little further over, and they're going to be a little more centrally located on my narrow strip. I have 5.5 acres, but it's a narrow 5.5 acres, so I don't have a lot of width. My neighbors are close on both sides. So if I place it more centrally located where they have a nice open space for that morning and midday sun, but a little more tree and bush and tree and shrub obstruction, they're not going to be flying as flat and straight out over somebody else's backyard. Well, that's enough for this. That was a quick episode. I'll probably leave a little more in this video because it wasn't as long. Sometimes I'm out here for a whole hour, so I try to cut the video down. But for you guys in this one, I'm probably going to leave it a little longer so you can see more of it. I wish you could see what's going on here. The bees, yeah, I'm actually not too terrified right now, even though this is a lot of activity. This is not as bad as what it could be. So they are attacking the microphone. They don't like it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on the Daddykirbs farm. I hope that you've been enjoying the I hope that you've been enjoying the Saturday morning live streams, and this morning on Monday, the first time ever, I have what I'm calling Monday meetups, where you get to see some other people from around YouTube, other creators. And Tim Huffman, who was featured today, is also a beekeeper, and he lives in Florida, so you might want to check him out. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.